Hello there! Back again. This is another tournament game from the New York New Rooks. Tournament organised by Soup Juice. And here we have the Megablin, the Megagoblin, versus Spartelius here. And Spartelius in the purple, and both on Rebels here, and Megablin here in the yellow. And flats again. And actually looks like it has some food today. There's the cursed 3 berries. Couple of nerfs, but we got 3 lumps, which should be a hearty meal. Spartelius just not found his yet. He has now. The other one over there on the other side of that tree cluster. Don't think I've seen anything from Spartelius yet, so I don't know what they're like. Megablin, like I've done a couple of games. So we'll see what happens here. I'll speed up a little bit in T1. Got a lot of games to go through, so might just do them all in sort of a one-ish sort of session. Get them out of the way. And I have the food drop, so garrison the food. Things are not as easy as Age of Empires now. They've got a button that you can just click and it makes the workers deposit the food, then go back to what they're doing. It looks very comfy. It would be good in GBG. They also have it easier with their command center that you can like stand under as well, so like less colliding and stuff. Luring the Flump here with a scout, that's a good move. It certainly speeds things up. And carbon placed. Spartelius didn't ever notice to actually made a food processor early. I suppose before he scouted his flumps. Although that looks kind of fresh. Maybe did that recently. We'd prefer to get the carbon down first, then get on the old berries. There's only a couple of nerfs. I mean, you can house them, and it's maybe a house them just so you can mounty kind of approach, but you could also eat them as well. It's not like a huge amount to house. It's probably going to take like a long time for that to pay itself off. What is that? What? By game minute 30. At the maximum it's paid itself off. Seems pretty poor. But having that threat of mounties early is pretty good. Such a good unit. It'd be great on a map like this as well. Just run directly to your opponent. It's not like there's tons and tons of food either to get up to T2, so there should be a little window where mounties are alright. They are going to have to build the farms, but they are both rebels. Rebels being a very good farming civ with its bonuses. See, farmers work 10% faster, and the team bonus the farmers carry plus 35 food, so that's pretty cool. Get an extra 35 food on every farm you make. So like half of the first tech up for farms. That second carbon? That's interesting. Spartelius might actually just make it up to T2. He's gonna have to build some farms, I would think. Megablin here. Keep things going. I'll have to have a look and see where we stand. 20 to 18. A little bit of a lead there. Just been a bit more diligent keeping the command center populated. See, a couple of workers are bumping here, which I would think are not something that Spartelius is going to encounter with his 2 carbon processors. He's getting an early power core here though. On the way to T2. Surprised I didn't tuck it right in that corner there. It'd be much safer. Much easier to just fully wall it in. There he is, T2. And, oh, he's trapped this worker inside. And then cancelled it because he's trapped his worker inside. Lost a bit of carbon there, I feel. Because he'd get up to like about here. So he is T2, he does have a strip centre on the way. Megablin has his up, he's built a lot more farms though, he's a bit healthier looking with his economy. But doesn't have the power core. And is dropping more farms here. There's a mounted trooper going to be sent his way. Just pop out here for Spartelius. We look at send that across and do some sort of aggression, and he might actually find some damage for the fact that Megablin just hasn't got a power core. We're researching trooper right now. He doesn't want to drop that 200 carbon. Gonna use some ore to wall things out. I'm really surprised. Do you not know about power cores? You must know about power cores. It's like the... I think everyone knows about power cores, really. Where's the steel and nerf there? He's gonna get caught by the Mounties, I think, there. Been built up and sent his way now. I feel like Megablin just had a power core, he'd a couple of troopers, he'd be fine. He's got a really good economy. He's building this wall, but they've just ran through it before it went up, and, well, it doesn't cover the other side of the base. Could have maybe walled himself in if he was a bit quicker walling. He's building the power core now. He's going to race to build this turret here to help defend. He's repairing his workers, which is a smart move. Try and keep them alive against the Mounties while he hopefully queues up some troopers. He's got his power core up now. This is probably very mechanically taxing though for someone that's new to the game right now. He couldn't quite... Did he have workers on order? He built all these walls. They get things cheaper now, don't they? That's what's messing with my brain. Laser turrets cost 15% less ore. I'm sitting looking at his ore, very confused. The Spartelius at home is, well, he's chilling. He's built some farms and stuff, and he's just going for this this turret. And where are the troopers? He just needed to queue some troopers up. I guess he didn't have the carbon because he's pulled all his carbon workers. He's low on carbon. He's built all these farms. He could have built mounted troopers though to defend. They're just fooded Nova, which he has plenty of. And it's actually ended up that he's lost like quite a few workers here. Like if I go, this would probably be the easiest way to tell. He's lost 4 workers. And been forced to build the turret here. I think he had all the tools to defend that fairly easily. The turret was, I think the turret was a good and warranted move, but I think then he just needed to queue up like 2 Mounties if he wanted to like be really conservative about it and maintain a lot of his resources. I think he's got plenty of food though if he's got 11 workers queued up. Like 600 food. So back at home, Spartelius housed at the moment. 1 worker building the prefab. Got his buildings down. I'm gonna go and maybe grab up the holocrons here with the Jedi Padawan. Maybe click the button to T3. Plenty of farms, plenty of food income. Should go forward that in a moment. Yeah. So he's setting himself up for quite a good mid game here. And Megablin going for one of his buildings, his tech level 2 buildings. I'm trying to finish up this wall. He needs to watch out though. If his opponent's going to get up to T3, he can send air his way and the air can just fly over the wall, right? So I'd like to see, as soon as Megablin like gets himself clicked up, I'd like to see him building some anti-air troopers. And he can then hide them in his turret if need be, or his command center, but use them to make sure he doesn't get overrun by air. And then he can enjoy being sort of walled in here as such. Maybe he can get onto the ore. Get himself a fortress, and he won't have to worry about strike mech aggression. And There's another Bantha that's not been found. So the first holocron for Spartelius. Or second holos. This guy's been busy. Does he know a bit more? Oh, he does know about third as well. You can see why he's went for these, knowing about 3 holos. It's a very enticing opportunity. Actually making some troopers right now in T3, which is interesting. Air base though, we did expect air. It's like the strongest thing you could probably make in T3. And it's not because it's tanky, it's not because it does tons and tons of damage, it's more so just about its mobility. Being able to traverse that terrain. I'd like to see Spartelius maybe grab like a second command center at the minimum. Because I mean, you are T3, you can make command centers now, you might as well double your worker production. You should almost always be able to afford that, even when you're being aggressive. And these troopers are just going to get some free damage on these workers because, well, they've been abandoned by the homeland here. Left to mine Nova on their own outside. And he did make those anti-air troopers, I'm glad to see. Which means that this fighter doesn't get really any momentum going. Some of these guys might be low from the earlier attack though. Maybe he could have sniped one. Those troopers are actually getting kills here and there. Actually, I killed 4 workers. That's wild. Spartelius again though, no command center. Up to 2 fighters now, it's just 1 airbase rally, so... Unfortunately for Megablin, his troopers ran too close to his troopers. He does have his own fighters out now, he's got double airbase, so maybe he can actually find a way into this. He should be quite safe now, he could probably grab this fighter, you can see it with his wall. He just has to scoop the units up and click on it, and you can have this nice fighter lead, and maybe what Megablin could actually do is counter-attack here. You can see the command center going down, second airbase for Spartelius. He's thinking about that, he doesn't want to get overwhelmed with this air count. A carbon processor here for the Megablin. He's sneaking round. Looking for an oh, he's using his scout as well, which is clever. And he's actually drawing the air away with his scout. Well, he comes in here with his fighters. He did actually just unwittingly bring them back here, but he does know where they are. So as long as he can click on them, he can maybe get a good trade. They kind of went 2 for 2 there. He gets the elevation, but it's not super important in an air fight. It's just because they're so volatile. Like, it's not many shots, so bonuses don't really kick in too much in a very small fight like that. He had a pretty good opportunity though with the scout to just see where they are and like click on them ahead of time and maybe just get the first shots. It's pretty much a first shot affair with fighters. And just loading them out. Don't like him coming in here with just 2. You might get a worker, but I think losing your fighters right now is kind of very detrimental to your ability to play the game out. So Spartelius housed a little bit, but he does have quite a few built up here. He went up to 3 air bases. So he can actually trade more effectively here. He did lose some Nova workers though. But I suppose he's got 3 holocrons now, he doesn't need them. So that might actually be pretty impactful here. And Megablin might struggle a little bit to keep up. Is he going to get a 4th holo? It's walled, right? Does he know about that one? No. This guy just scouting, I guess. There's one up here. And Megablin moving out onto the map with his fighters. He does have about the same amount. The issue might come after this fight. because 3 holocrons, 3 air bases, he's going to be able to reproduce the fighters very, very easily. And oof, Spartelius does get the first shots here. Oh, but he completely mismicroed afterwards. He went flying forward there without actually shooting. So that's a very good trade for Megablin. Definitely something he needs in this game. And he does get 2 workers there too. He just needs to watch now because 3 hollows, 3 air bases, the fighters are just going to keep coming. Especially with rebels as well. Really strong farmers and food income, so they're kind of set up pretty well to just spam fighters. And Spartelius is actually on the way to T4 too. And that's going to be pretty impactful in this air versus air matchup. Megablin trying to out-micro here, but he hasn't really been producing the fighters too well. He doesn't have any leftover, like no new round arrived there, he's just queued them up after that fight. Spartelius trying to out-micro these troopers, almost. They do clean things up here. And Megablin might get baited a little bit into thinking that this is an even game right now, but it's really, really not because of those holocrons. Like if we go to the Society tab here, it's already 1.6k Nova that he's gotten from that. I mean, that's almost as much Nova as Megablin's gotten all game. It's a huge amount of Nova. And when you're like lower experienced players, like you hit the mid game like this, everything's going to be like so much slower for you to achieve. So like something that's just ticking away, be it nerfs or Nova, is really going to make up like pick up a lot of slack for you. It'd be super impactful. So like every in-game minute he gets 135 Nova. Okay, I'm just waiting. He's going to hit that T4. He can upgrade these fighters once he does. Get the fast fighter. Getting flight skill. I don't think that one's too relevant. Shield modifications though. We kind of really want to have fast fighter, shield, and armor. They're the 3 big ones here. And there's also astromech repairs as well, which is probably not needed really. It's more about when you've got a lot of air that would pay off for you and you're taking a lot of trades. Maybe even just like a team game sort of tech really. Megablin coming forward with his air does get spotted. And by this fighter, it's actually going to get 2 fighters. 2 for 1 there. What a deal. And Spartelius looking to hunt him down in his base. This is kind of good for Megablin though that he came out to trade with him before he had his tanks. But what can he do now to weather the storm? He can't really quite afford it. He can with his spaceport if he sells some of his ore or his carbon. He get himself up to T4, but again, the fighters are going to be on their way. Does have shield. Never got fast fighter yet. What's happening there? We're still not getting it. Well, these are really not as scary as they could be. This is a weatherable storm. Although we only got the 1 turret. Could have afforded quite a few more. Like a second turret here would have really helped. Megablin is on the way. Maybe just lacked us like some garrison space over here too. Because of this tight, packed wall, there's not much space in the base. And to be fair, Spartelius, even not getting fast fire, he's killing a lot of workers. Still, don't know why you wouldn't get it. There you are. It's very cheap. Getting that astromech repairs. Don't think he needs that. I would not prioritise that over like advanced fighter and stuff. As I said, I don't think it would really be that relevant in a lot. I don't think you'd be making that much unless you play like entirely air based. Like maybe attackers. If you're making like mass attackers, I think it's good. I think in general in a 1v1 you'd not be making tons of air. But if you did go attackers, fair enough. I think it'd be good. It's about the HP regenning as well, not just the shields. I did hit T4, I believe. The thing you have to do would be to try and get some interceptors out maybe, and try and micro them. Other than that, I think he's kind of just too far behind. There's obviously like secret troop centers over here, but he's not going to have the economy to power this. Like the 3 holocrons is just going to be like, this is too much. It's like a insurmountable lead that's really being developed. And the Nova in a 1v1, you know, it's finite too, so having an infinite source is huge. Today we're on that Vietnamese coffee. Strong. Even with a lot of milk, very strong coffee. And Megablin, buddy, I think it's time to move on. Try again. Maybe check the score screen, see your opponent's got all those hollows and go, oh man. Can't let him do that again. Because where are we at now? It's going to be a lot. 3k. Kept up with workers and everything, it's just like he's a bit behind in like that Nova. Oh! I missed these boys. They actually got a lot of kills. I don't think it's enough, but I mean, they literally just lose to one fighter. It's something. They've gotten 15 worker kills. And the journey's over. Another one though. This is, he's been studying at the School of Risk. Dave gameplay. 1 repeater trooper in your worker line. But I mean, I just don't think there's a way out. Because there's no actual way to clear up the air. And you need workers to get resources, to get some tech, and then get some interceptors. He had ore, but it's gone. He never had a research center in the first place though, so there was no like advanced fighters to get out. He's getting camped now, his fighters. This guy's getting a lot of kills though. It's at least showing Spartelius he can kill his workers. Fighting spirit. Did I hear a pummel somewhere? The forward pummels, goddamn. You're in T4. You can build a fortress. You can build a cannon. But you're a pummel enjoyer. Are they like one of the worst pummel cities as well? Yeah. No heavy pummel. It's like campaign gameplay. The 4 pummels. Can you build the mounted trooper? More of these troopers just sneaking in now and again. I think that's going to be the last one though, right? Oh no. Micro. Oh, but there's a fighter. It's over. Dead. GG. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Precipice. TF. The old trade fed. The trade franchise. Some EOPs. Law nerf. Law nerf. Oh, this is a good map for the Rooks, man. Look at all these flumps. What's that? 7 flumps, man. Holy. Vanilla vibes. He's got 10 though. He's got the extra 3 spawn right there. I don't think like someone having an extra 3 flumps bothers me so much when we've got like 7. So it's like, oh, he's got 10, I would say I don't really care too much, but all these extra nerfs over here. This is a wild map, and then I don't think it's ever one prefab, is it? Wait. I must test. Do these show up here? I can't tell. They don't have houses. Ugh. It's the worst rule ever. You have to like be in distance, right? Because you've not technically scouted it. Is it? Oh, it is one prefab wall. Damn. I was curious about that. Where was I? Should be a wild T1. I guess you can't do the one prefab though. Then be TF, so. It's up to be some light wall. And then if it's light wall, you go right to the end. Yeah, that's it. Walling himself in though. What genius. Maybe you're gonna go for the forward. I talked about this before, right? On the last one I did. Maybe he's been watching the games. Taking the advice. Oh, build a nursery there as well. House those bad boys. That's what I would do. Nah, man, you gotta build a nursery. It's worth it, I think. Could do it after though. Go for your rush first and do it after. If you found the others that she's gonna do, I think. Like, you gotta wander down here and get a nursery. It's GG. There's so many nerfs. This guy's got to be building something though, right? Oh man, you're trying way too hard here, Megablin. Like, why push Eopes when you have 7 flumps to lure? You're not scouting because you're doing this. You're actually outplaying yourself. Oh man, you've outplayed yourself too hard. You gotta find that balance. You can't just push the EOPs all day, like, because you're missing out on things. Especially if there's nerfs as well. If you find 8 nerfs at the start, there's more nerfs to find. Spartelius, though, is getting the nerfs caught because he didn't make the nursery on this side. I'm trying to run them through. Are you gonna get the scout walled out, though? I think you should have just walled a scout out and made the nursery right there. Just put them in. Checkmate. It's actually 8 nerfs on Spartelius' side he's not found of his own. And all of his flumps as well, right? No, he's on the food processor. He's too busy to be luring flumps right now. And the battle of the Scout v Scout, but there is the worker that can be the differential there. He can either repair or he can slap the Scout. I'm telling you, you just make, like, look at how much carbon you've got. You just build the nursery right there. And then play for it or something. Because you can just enjoy all that food income. Oh, he kills the Scout. Megablin again. All those nerfs stolen. But it's still not as dramatic as it could be because there's still 8 nerfs up for grabs here on his land. Wait, there's still 8, but he's got 16? What? How many have you got? You only got 8, right? It's just like extra spawns? This map's wild, man. It's like meant to be RVA's side of the map or something. 10 flump and 8 extra nerfs, or what's going on? How many did you get? I think 1 died, right? Pull them all back. Like 10 nerf, yeah. Ooh, shipyard though. Did re-wall things out. I mean, if you can fish, that would make up for things somewhat. Poor Megablin is just like so poor in comparison. That's what 400 res behind. Ahead in workers though. Maybe he's gonna pull that back then, maybe 6 workers. I suppose these just count as workers though, all these extra nerfs. It's like an extra, what, 2.5 workers or something maybe. Doesn't really make up for 6 deficit though. And he's gonna get these 2 trawlers at a time too. Ain't gonna have to worry about getting house being on the trade fed. Thing I'd be worried about though is like T2 Mounties or something here. Or fast T3, fast double airbase. Oh, there's still 4 over here. A wild amount of nerfs not been found in this game. Maybe a record for a 1v1. Like what? 12 nerfs still just not found. All this hunt down here, man. Be absolute the juiciest food processor. War center for Spartelius. It's got plenty of cash though. Megablin's still feeling poor, but then is he really though? Because he's got like 10 workers queued, man. Build some frigates. He doesn't even need them. They're unwatered. They're not even in beasts in this river, man. What's the hollows like? 3 on his side. I would hope that that's at the back of the mind. If you paid attention to that game you just played, you looked at the score screen, you saw that Hollow Nova. I'd hope you'd be playing for the hollows here. See those nerfs over there. Can maybe make a transport, put worker across, get them, bring them home. Oh, oh! I thought I heard troopers. Damn it! It did happen. I'm sitting hearing lasers and I thought it was the frigate, man. This is the green on this map. I can't see it. I forgot he had a worker down here. Damn. Damn. Damn, it's over. This completely slipped my mind. I got distracted by like the nerf combat that was going on. And then I thought we were just going into T3. I thought that's where that worker was down here as well. Did he go back? That's a different worker. His worker had like damage to it, I think. So that one just stayed there, I guess, the entire time. Not looking good here for Megablin. Does have the water eco, but it's kind of a... Maybe if he gets the T3, he gets the building out, he can use a spaceport. Maybe there's an opportunity to run some workers somewhere and just put them on ore or something in the corner. Just gotta wait, right? Pump out strike mech. Out it goes. Tough though. A lot of time these guys not working at home. Spartelius has a lot of res banked up and he is on the way to T3 as well. Strike mech pops out now though. He's grabbing the hall. He's just building everything over here. He's not going to give this forward up. He's building like mech factories on his side. He's going to grab the hollows here too. He's actually made 2 Padawans, and the Padawan's actually going to chase the strike mech around. That's going to be really difficult for one strike mech with no upgrades to ever deal with. It goes down too. Megablin probably need to get like 3 strikes out to deal with that. You can use the spaceport though and buy things. You can like buy carbon. He's trying to send all the workers back there, but you can't just use the spaceport. He goes. He does. Oh, he keeps up scouts though. Accident, yep. Been there. This is gonna... I feel like you need to get like three or 4 strikes out, to be honest, and the Mounties are gonna go for the power core now. Or at least they could do. So if you pop them out one at a time, you're just not gonna be able to micro very well. Like every time you turn round to shoot, it's just not a lot of DPS. You can see how pathetic it is when you don't have like plus damage and stuff. And then Mech Destroyer's popping out here. I think he's snookered, man. Spartelius has he's really played the map better. And coincidentally just taking advantage of Megablin's, I would say, pretty poor scouting this map. That's not really all he did, and then he lost his scout on the crossing. And at the start he kind of just outplayed himself, like pushing those EOPs when there's like 7 flumps to enjoy. But, I mean, it's probably like the least amount of nerfs found on a map, and flumps actually enjoyed. I mean, each one of these bad boys is 300 food. There's so many to eat, so... yeah, scouting would be the biggest takeaway, I think, from this. And the first game, definitely the holocrons were a big issue, I would say. It's like knowing where your opponent is and you are in relation to one another. Those holos make a big impact. But GG, well played to both players. And if you like the content, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. If you go to the description field, you'll see the brackets for this New Rooks tournament if you want to follow that. When you want to get involved in these types of games, you can find our GPG Discord server invite link down below in the description field. You find one for the Expanding Fronts mod. If you want to support the channel in another way, there's a PayPal donation link down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.